Welcome to D6 Stories. I'm Josh, your DM for tonight. We are missing one of our key players. He is off at a wedding.
He's not
priorities, but I'm going to have Nate start off with what you're playing and say an interesting fact about your character. Move on to
Ryan,
and then across the table.
I am playing Elrondel Quinmare, the Drow wild magic sorcerer. The interesting about this character is he's been involved in more player deaths than the DM.
He's also got a giant crystal sticking out of his chest.
That too.
my name is Ryan. I was playing Belric when I got killed last week, and we'll have to see what I get to play going forward.
What's interesting about your character? He's dead.
He's
Move on.
super dead.
He's over there. Your DM screen.
He's there on the screen,
Yeah, here he is.
torn up, splattered. I'm Emily. I play Dr. Mississippi Drill, a halfling archaeologist who did not sign up for this.
Interesting? Anything interesting about your character?
Anything interesting about my character?
Yeah.
She's completely overwhelmed. She's very short.
Okay.
I
We'll
don't
go
know
for that.
what you mean, but okay.
Go on. We'll work on that. Liz?
So I'm playing Abbott, who used to be a human cleric. Now he's no longer that, and now he's a little more glowy, a little more warm. So, and the interesting thing about him is he's hard at English.
Okay, so last week I'll start with the recap, and then I'm gonna let Mississippi take over. Basically, what happened up until last week is there was this artifact that was discovered underneath. Felric's monastery was dug up by Mississippi, being paid for by the what we call it? The Grand Arcanist.
Grand Arcanist.
Pagonis. And Elrondel studied these crystals, and they were all brought together, including Abbott as the voice of God, to go judge the Grand Arcanist because he had ill intent, supposedly, with these crystals. They confronted him, the crystals exploded after some interesting turns of events that may or may not have been Elrendel's fault.
She suggested it.
And
It didn't work. Now it's your idea.
321 years later, and the world has completely changed. What used to be low fantasy is now high, very, very, very high fantasy.
Apparently everyone can teleport. Why can't you?
Yeah, exactly. And they met a goblin, which is actually
A gnome.
He's actually a gnome, but he looks like a goblin. And he explained he explained enough so they kind of got the gist. They left the tower, and then.
So we left the tower, and we decided that we wanted to go to Harm Money. It's now known as Harm, formerly known as Harmony. Yeah. And so we're traveling through the forest, and all of a sudden there's a really big cat with tentacles. Then there's two really big cats with tentacles, and then there's a third extra big cat with tentacles. Felric died.
Yes.
There was a really cool trail of purple mist that because they're displacer beasts, right? So they
They were panthers.
They were panthers, and so they shimmer, and they do this weird thing. So when you get in the purple mist, you can attack them without the shimmering. That was really cool. Felric died. I almost died twice. And I was unconscious for most of last session, which was fun. Then the group, I was unconscious for this, of course, remember. The group traveled to Harmony, and Gideon and Elrondel?
Yes.
Elrondel,
L.
Gideon and Elle went into town. A little girl screamed at Elle, and so he went off and hid. And Gideon managed to get like a bug and shove it down my throat from a wishing well.
Yeah.
This all makes so much sense.
Completely. Okay, so after the wishing well bug incident that basically brought you back from the brink of death, you proceeded to your group basically proceeded to get gunked up with stuff to look like you are basically not the creatures that you are. So your skin is kind of stained in various shades of brown and green. And you're walking through the city right now, following the gnome
Hopefully this stuff is good for the
named
skin.
Tadnat.
Good for the complexion.
Because Tadnat says, I have somebody that can help you figure things out.
Yes, someone who knows more.
Somebody that knows more. And so here you are, the four of you, missing chair. And unfortunately, we have a player here that does not have a character at the table currently. Are basically walking through the kind of roughly cobblestone streets of Harm.
Honey.
Used to be called Harmony. So let's set the stage. Harmony is, or Harm is on the ruins of Harmony. Buildings here that used to be stone and wood in very much of a Tudor style. The wooden portions of the buildings are no longer present. They still have the stone foundations, but in their place, large leather and cloth tents have been erected. Basically in the foundations of where all the older buildings used to be. You do look through the town as you're going through, and there are a few buildings that look like they may have stood over the time, but they are worse for wear. As you're walking through, you are seeing all these humans that Tadnat refers to them, but they have greasy black hair, they have tusks or a random horn kind of protruding from their face. Sometimes they have oversized hands. Their skins are various shades of browns to greens. Their teeth are yellowed, and they very much dress what a human would dress. A standard tunic and leggings would be kind of your common dress for these. And they don't act like you think a monstrous beast would act. You are walking down the street, and one tips the hat to the lady. And, yeah.
Okay. Alright. Just so we're clear.
Yes, and...
Well, I am the only woman here. Right. Okay.
Yes. So, and here you are, you're following Tadnat, who's walking down this cobbled street. He leads you to this stone building with a wooden cellar door. This wooden cellar door is old. It looks like it's near rot. He opens up the door, and you can see light kind of flickering down from below. A voice kind of shouts up as he's opening up this rickety wooden door, and it's simple. Halt! Who goes there? Tadnat looks down. He says, Tadnat, we're here to speak to Helen. The voice replies, very well. Keep your distance from Helen. He says, don't worry. We will. And he then motions you down. Ladies first.
Lady? Singular?
Lady first. Down into this cellar of this stone building.
I walk down the stairs? What do I see?
You walk down the stairs and you kind of come down, and then you realize that this building used to be the old jailhouse.
Oh!
This down here is a small quote-unquote dungeon with a single cell on the opposite side. There's a man with a big horn that comes down and touches his chin, and then a nice bushy beard that kind of grows around it. And he's sitting there with a giant axe resting next to him, and he looks to you and he says, "I don't recognize you." He says, "If you want to speak to Helen, make sure you do not go past the line." He gets up, he takes out a key, and he unlocks the jail cell door. Then jumps down behind you, and he says, "All right, this is Helen the Seer." He says, any questions that you may have, she will answer." And he pushes past you and goes through the iron cell door. On the other side, you can hear a little jingle of chains.
Follow. Why do we stand on the other side of the line?
He says, so she doesn't hurt you.
Who is Helen?
Helen's the Seer.
Yeah, why would she hurt us?
Seers hurt people. They're vicious.
Is it dark in the cell?
It's not dark, but the door is only open just enough where he was able to.
Is it like grated?
Oh no, it's a metal. It's a metal wall.
It's a thick metal wall.
Yeah. Yep. And this metal wall was dates back that 300 plus years.
I would like to push the door open. Go up and push the door open.
I'll follow after.
Okay.
Is it dark in there?
So you push the door open, and there is lantern light, and it's hooked up onto the iron walls on your side. You see Tadness sitting there on a small stool, and there's a couple of chairs that are lined up against the wall. On the opposite side, you see a woman. Her nose, 3 or 4 inches long, like knottily kind of warts all around. She's got vicious teeth that stick out of her mouth. Long black hair that comes down beyond her shoulders. She's incredibly skinny. Even though she easily stands 7 feet tall, she probably only weighs 25 pounds. She's wearing kind of ratted clothing. It looks like she's ripped them herself. In front of her face, she wears a mask. Kind of think of Hannibal.
Right.
We go to the nicest places.
This is.
Tadnat looks over as you enter at it, and he says, "This is Helen, the Seer."
Hello. Helen.
Roll a perception check.
I got a 7.
She says, yes. Come in, Abbott."
How is you know that?
So you three, do you make your way into the room?
I'm following Abbott.
You
Yeah.
follow
As he walks in.
Okay. I want, as you walk into the room, I want you to each roll perception checks.
18.
13. Okay. You notice that when you walk into the room, she doesn't look at you. She actually looks around the general area of you, but not directly at you. And she never once does she make eye contact. You believe that she is blind. So she says, "I know many things. That is my lot in life, to know things. It is what I have been cursed with." Chains clink
answers? Why answers? How I don't know. Ask her the question.
So Tadnet is sitting there on a stool not too far off, and his stool is probably about a foot back from the crudely drawn line in the stone. Okay, so we need to restart the stream. We are going to come back in just a second. And we're back. Sorry for those technical difficulties, but back on the stage here, these three, plus Gideon, are standing inside a prison cell from Harmony's old prison, and inside is a very ugly woman that they're about to ask some questions to and get some more answers. And I'm getting some wide-eyed blank stares. Abbott, why don't you go first?
Okay. I'm gonna inch closer to the line.
Okay.
Like stand right. Like literally right, almost right on it.
Alright, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. 17.
Okay.
I got like mucho bonuses in that.
Yeah, I know. But she shifts as soon as you get close to the line. She shifts and gets up as close as she can. Her long nose touches you on the face, and she uses it to just kind of gauge your features.
She's rubbing her nose all over your face.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm uncomfortable, but I'm asserting dominance.
Mm-hmm. And she's hands are up in her, and the chain is kind of holding her neck back, and she's as close to you, extended out as far as possible. And you notice that like her hands are exactly like an inch or two behind where that line would be.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How long is you be alive?
She says, "I am over 200 years old. I don't know my exact age anymore. It doesn't matter. It's not relevant."
How long you was cursed?
He says, "All my life, from the very moment I was born, I was cursed with this ugliness, cursed with this thirst for flesh, cursed with this sight."
Is she still like on my face?
Yeah. Kind of moves it over.
Most awkward what
I'm
movie
about to
ever.
slap it away. But I'm holding my ground.
It's really uncomfortable. Okay.
What you is remember of Calamity?
She says, "The cataclysm. It was vast and great. Splits this gigantic stone of mana throughout the world. In 5 great chunks did it go. 5 great chunks, one of which is in that man's chest." She points in his general direction. Not directly at him, but in his
but like
general.
in his
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah. She says, "Undo you could if you got the others. But your life is tied to it. One day, it will consume you."
Okay.
What you have seen about El Grande magicians?
Did you say El Grande magicians?
Magicians.
The Grand Arcanist. Powerful as he, there is one thing that he fears, and that is the past.
Okay.
Why does he fear the past?
It's the only thing. He remembers a time before time, a time before the world as it is now.
So do we.
He says, yes. You are from the past.
Yeah.
You will come to haunt him.
Oh. As in, like, ghosts? Or, like...
What's a ghost?
I don't know. I don't know what a ghost is.
Might have scales.
It might have scales.
It might also be poisonous.
It might breathe fire. Okay. Where are the other 5 chunks? 4. The other 4 chunks.
Scattered throughout the world. I cannot tell you, for Grand Arcanus has foreboded.
What, is he like Big Brother now?
Can he unforbode it?
He says, I cannot speak ill will of him.
Why?
He will smite me. And she looks up.
I look up. Do I see anything? The
The
ceiling?
ceiling, yeah.
Okay, great. How does he know if you speak ill of him?
He is all powerful. It is his curse.
Then you should want to help us and get rid of this curse.
She says, I can help you to some extent. She says, but I cannot speak ill will of him, and I cannot speak of the shards beyond that they exist.
Can you tell us about the prince?
Yes. Long ago, the prince, he survived the great cataclysm, and he fought against the Grand Arcanus. The Grand Arcanus constructed large creatures, large automatons that walked through the land, and the prince fought against him and his troop of fire-breathing eagles.
Yes. Is the prince somehow still alive?
Yes, the prince is living, although banished.
Where?
In a land far to the east.
Any more specific location, directions?
I cannot
coordinates,
speak of
GPS?
his
Of course you can't.
any mention of him, and I am sure that I will be struck down by the Grand Arcanus.
Well, if the Grand Arcanus is listening right now, please be nice to this kind lady because she's helping us. That'd be great.
She says you are free from his curse.
How?
How? Because we weren't there.
I believe this is so. You were outside of his reach.
We're invisible, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
Great. Yeah, that's not terrifying at all. Alright,
She says, I see. Do not travel north. Not yet. You will die on the road.
What is north?
You must prepare yourselves.
How?
Ask the gnome. He will tell you.
I'm gonna look at Tadnat.
He says, your magics aren't great. You're going to need some gear.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you should get some shard heart gear. It's the best way.
Shard what now?
Shard heart gear? He
I'm
says,
just gonna-
Remember,
after we're out of
we're
here,
planewalkers, so we don't know anything.
oh,
about
after
it.
we're out of here, we can stop at the blacksmith and yeah. We can get you some shard hair gear without the shards. You'll have to get some shards. The carrying grotto. That's the best place for that.
So,
What?
shard heart gear without shards.
I did mention a fire-breathing eagle.
Fire breathing.
You want to?
Giant
You want to
eagle.
show this to the camera? That's the thing. You have to show it to the camera. That's he's getting inspiration for his fire-breathing eagle.
He's not even alive.
Yep.
Okay.
Inspiration from beyond the grave.
Fine.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions? You've been really quiet.
Well, we know what
You're supposed
we know.
to
We
be
don't
smart.
go to the north. What's to the west?
He says, "Well, you want to go south and go to the Carrion Grotto.
Okay.
It's not that far. It's likely because you guys couldn't survive the Panthers. There's worse than Panthers out there."
Goody.
I'd ask the seer Helen. Helen.
Mhm.
That's a very normal name. Who were her parents?
Dave and Laura.
And were they humans?
Yes, they were humans.
And then you were born hideous. Gorgeous. You were born gorgeous.
She says, "I know to your eyes that I look hideous, but to this world I am beautiful."
This is really gonna take some severe getting used to, guys. Yeah. Dave and Laura.
I actually do have a question for
Yeah.
Helen. Does the Grand Arcanist have another apprentice?
He's had many apprentices over the years, yes.
And they all died.
Most of them have died. There are a few out there
That are
scattered throughout the realms.
That are potentially displeased with the Grand Arcanist.
Oh, he said
Yes.
scattered. Like,
She says, yes, there may be allies there.
okay.
You will have to find those that are strong against the curse to find those that can help you.
Can you tell us more about this curse? Like,
It's,
how does it function? Like, what are the conditions of it?
she says it's
Effects?
simple. You have likely already figured it out. Speak ill will of him, and you are struck down by lightning. It'll strike through this building, likely kill all of you in the process, if I were to speak his name right now. You are free from this curse. All I have to do is say ill will of him, and we all die.
Interesting. Someone's insecure. It's a good thing I'm immune from this curse because I probably would have just died had I said that.
Yep. She says, go. Find your shard heart weapons and find your shards. Afterwards, seek out the 4 large shards.
You don't. Yeah, that's right. You couldn't
Yeah,
give us
they-
any direction.
You
Can't
could,
tell us where to go.
you could still speak with the Grand Arcanist, although he'll fear you.
Do you think that we would feasibly be able to speak with him, or would we be imprisoned before we could reach him?
You have an interesting power amongst you. You're free from the curse. That could be used to your advantage.
Okay.
So he wouldn't see us coming.
Perhaps. My mind went a different direction. That's okay. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can the Grand Arcanist see you talking to nothing if he's omnipotent?
The Grand Arcanist is not
He's not omnipotent. He's just all powerful.
He's just all powerful and has
So it's like there's a trigger. to his, like, he's not constantly watching everybody, but when somebody says something bad about him, it's like a reflex.
Yes.
Like Alexa.
Okay.
Like
Like Alexa. That's so
like
sad.
tapping on one's calloused knee. The leg
Yeah.
kicks.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Helen.
Yeah.
Okay.
After she was,
Yeah, yeah.
She just like the
she's
warmth.
been done for a little while.
I kind of want to give her a hug.
She curls
She's
back
lovely.
against the wall. There's a cot back there, and she sits on it. And she looks over at what looks to be bread and cheese, and you can tell she's
It's not human flesh.
dissatisfied. But she grabs a bunch and then breaks off a piece and sticks it in between the little grill on her face and munches it with her sharp teeth.
Poor thing.
Tadnat says, "Isn't she beautiful?"
Absolutely gorgeous.
She's like, one day I hope to find a woman like that."
You follow your dreams, Tadnat.
He says, "All right, let's go to the blacksmith and see. You have some of that currency that you gave that young one, right?"
Yes.
Yes.
He says, "Well, that's good. Wherever plane that came from, you can use that. However, you don't have any shards, so you won't be able to get anything good. Anything good is traded in with shards.
Okay.
So, but he says, follow me. We'll go to the blacksmith, and then I'll see you off." He turns around and leaves the cell, kind of motioning you to follow. And then he looks over and he says to the guard, he says, "Thanks for letting us speak to Helen. She is exceptionally alluring today." As he walked up the stairs, and you can hear him open the cellar door.
Everything is backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, ugly is beautiful. I'm hideous.
So you walk through the streets again, and as you are walking through the streets, I want you three to roll a perception check.
19.
23 natural 20.
18.
Both of you. You're walking down the streets, and well, first off, we're not going to gloss over the fact that cart over there is being pulled by this metallic ox of sorts. You can see that it's got a muzzle on it that just little puffs of green kind of puffs out every once in a while as it breathes. But just beyond the cart, followed by this gigantic metallic oxen, you see a gruesome sight.
To us, gruesome.
To you, gruesome.
Okay. Just so we're clear.
You see a charred man standing there, watching you. He's short and has the same features as Belric, but as the cart passes, he disappears. He's gone.
We all see this?
You two.
Those two.
You got a.
I had an 18.
Yeah, you and you.
Okay.
You got what did you get?
I got an 18.
Oh, all three of you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
all three of you see that.
We're being haunted.
I'm just gonna say, not my fault.
Okay. So he walks you down the street and on to it looks to be a classic smithy, but you see a dwarf. But this dwarf has black skin, a gray and beard with red streaks in it, a bald head, But other than the fact that his skin color is off, he looks exactly like a dwarf. And he is hammering away. And it looks like he's making maybe some nails or something along the lines. Dadnet walks in and you can see that he's hanging up like shields on the walls, and then he's got a rack full of swords and spears and whatnot. You can see that there's an apprentice in the back that's kind of putting a haft to an axe, like he's in the process of getting the axe head, pounding it onto the haft. The dwarf looks up and he says, how can I help you?
We were told to get shard heart gear.
He says, yes. Okay.
However, we have no shards.
Oh, well, I mean, these are basically just mundane weapons without the shards, but...
I look at Tadnat.
Tadnat says, you should probably get one for each of you.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do that.
Okay. He says,
we can pay with this.
what do you have there?
Gold coin.
It's a like a pouch, gold pouch. He says, he opens it up and he says, oh, okay. He says, what are you looking for?
No, are we talking like did the seer say did we want armor, weapons, both from this shard heart? I mean, is it like a
Tadnat's like, you want gear, but weapons are starts. They're your bread and butter, and then once you get that going, then you can look at amulets, rings, and armor, and that kind of thing.
okay? So,
But you should probably just start off with some weapons.
okay, yeah.
I ask if he's got anything similar to like a quarterstaff.
He says, "Oh, quarterstaff? Yeah, those are easy. I have a quarterstaff."
Okay.
He says, just talk to my apprentice. He does all the hafting, and so he'll have the quarterstaff.
All right.
Can you make your way into the? And you can see that he's got a wide array, and the quarterstaffs are really just pole arms that haven't been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting a half-finished weapon.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, you get back there, you're asking about the quarterstaff. He's like, oh, you want one where you can cast magic spells out of and whatnot.
That'd be helpful.
He says, if you find a good shard heart, there's this one. He goes, there's a gnarled branch that goes up into like a gnarled hand that would hold something.
Okay.
And he says, there it is, and he's like, and you put the shard in the top there.
Okay.
It says, all right.
That sounds
Would
fine.
you have gold pieces?
Yes.
He says one of your gold pieces.
All right, I give him a
If
gold.
you had I said, if you had a shard heart, a shard, I could give you already one that's already got the shard in it.
Am I able to self-put the shard in it when I get one,
He says,
or should I bring it?
Yeah, they're meant to. They're easy as long as it's sized right.
Okay.
They come in varying sizes.
Do these shards need to be like changed out every so often?
Only if you want to inflict your enemies with different effects.
Okay, but it's not like they get depleted.
He says, they do over time, but in your lifehood you won't.
Okay, I'm older than I look.
Am I seeing any like leather work here, or is there a place that we passed?
So you're looking for leather. This is all like weapons and then arms and then like metal armor. And there are little bits of leather here, but this is not the place for that. There's a leather worker that Tadnak can kind of point you down.
Okay. I'll just say mine won't see leather.
He's like, all right, very well, let's go.
Leather.
And he takes you and he just walks you down the street.
Okay.
Do these guys have a short bow and or a rapier?
They have both.
Cool. Yeah, how much?
Um, 8 gold for the short bow, 10 gold for the rapier. Leather armor is 2 gold. When you get down there. And they're like, these are all single shard heart. He says, if you want a masterwork shard heart where it can take more than 1 shard, it looks like you don't have enough gold for that.
Okay, I give him an 18.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking for boots.
For boots?
Yes.
This is
I want him to point me to the ugliest boots. Ugly by their standards, pretty by mine.
Here's the thing, though. Clothing-wise,
They dress the same.
they dress the same.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's just different perspectives of physical beauty.
Yeah.
Is there anything like feathery?
Yes. Yep.
Like a pair of boots with like feathers on them?
So you go and you find a pair of boots, and he says, "Oh, here we go. This has robin feathers on it." And he picks it up, and they're boots, and to you it's like butterfly wings, kind of like nestled kind of around it, where like the butterfly wings would like wrap around your leg when tied.
How many?
He's 1 pair.
How many?
Oh, 3 gold. Robin feathers are a little hard to get, but
Okay, I'm gonna take them.
okay. And they also the boots have 1. Dude, show the camera. The boots have 1.
Oh, seriously? Oh, I'm so upset.
The boots have 1 space for a shard heart.
Yeah. She has the same one. Oops, sorry.
You have
Well,
the,
thanks for spoiling it.
you have the same one.
I have the
Sorry.
exact
What
same.
is the chances?
So
What are
so
the
I'll walk
chances?
in. I'll be like, look at
So
my
hey, since I have the same one,
Yeah.
I'm gonna show off my
except it's
fancy.
purple.
I'm gonna show off my fancy new
It's in a
boots.
different set. They're not exactly the same. Close.
These are winged boots.
Actually, the dye is exactly the same. Oh my god. I didn't... Just in different colors. Okay. Keep that in mind. What are the chances? Alright.
What are the
Slim.
chances?
The next time I see Ted Ned, I'd probably ask him where I can get new robes, because I think mine are still crispy.
He says the tailor.
Okay.
He says, you want a shard heart too?
Sure.
He says, alright. He walks you over to the tailor, and there's a wide variety of robes here. And one of the things you notice is the silk robes, which normally would be way expensive, are actually relatively cheap here. Like the price wise, you can get a full silk set, 5 gold.
Well, no reason not to treat myself.
Right?
I go to the leather worker. If
And he
I
says,
can find that.
find a spider silk.
Fancy.
Is there? He doesn't have any cloaks here, does he? It's all
Taylor.
leather stuff, Taylor.
Well, there'll be leather cloaks here, so yeah.
Does the leather worker have a hat?
Yes.
Cool. For
2
like
gold.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Because of course.
2 gold.
Okay, I'll buy it.
Okay.
I don't need a whip yet.
That's a 2 gold for a shard heart hat.
Yeah.
Does and
Make
so,
sure you write down what you buy that is shard heart capable.
Are my shoes shard heart capable?
Yes.
How much for a leather cloak or leather with a hood? Something with a hood.
4 gold.
4. I'll just get that too because I'm gonna need to get that anyways.
Okay.
Set of studded leather would cost how much?
10 gold. You get 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Tannat says, "All right, I am not going to the carrying grotto with you because
Because you don't love us? It's because we're
yeah.
ugly.
Well, you're better looking now with the, but
Better be good for my
you're still not
complexion.
striking."
Sorry, I don't have a 4-inch nose.
He says, "All right, so." He says, I think that's everything here. it's getting kind of late. You should probably rest up. Spend whatever remaining gold you have at the inn and rest up before you head out to the Carrying Grotto.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for your assistance.
Before Tadnet takes off, I wanted to ask him where people go pray.
He says most people, when they do their praying, they do it next to their beds.
No sanctuaries?
Oh, not in Harm. There are around, but not here.
Think.
Yeah.
You. Not that difficult.
Okay, so
It's not that difficult.
So
Yeah, we
I
go
think
to
we
the inn, I guess.
find an inn and have ourselves a rest.
yeah, so you go to the inn and you enter in the inn. It's the ugliest lot you've ever seen. First off, the inn is
I'm sure they're beautiful.
the inn is like a carnival-sized tent over the ruined foundations of what the old inn was. Instead of being 2 stories, it is a 1 story. And there's the tavern is probably about half the size that it used to be, and you can tell that there's a common room in the back. The people that are in the tavern, which is quite full, especially getting this late at night, are probably the most ugly, grotesque people you've ever seen, but they just sound like a normal crowd, just chatting, happy as can be. You collectively probably count 14 men and women, and when we're talking about random horns, you're probably in the 20s. Each one of them has something going on odd about their face.
Okay.
Yep.
Still haven't seen another elf, have I?
No, not yet.
Okay.
And there isn't a single person here that doesn't have horns.
No.
Are there any other gnomes in here?
Any other notes? Let's roll.
Or, I mean, scaled halflings?
There are 2 halflings in the back corner, but you don't. They are they're short, same size as halflings.
Yep.
Both have reddish scales and kind of long
Snouts.
muzzles, snouts, and a reptilian kind of fashion. They're talking every once in a while. When they talk, they go, "Yep, yep." Anyways, so they're there, sitting down, and the chairs are just in a way where their tails kind of flap around on the backside of them. And they you can hear them kind of like as they're talking, their tails kind of go wiggle back and forth, and every once in a while they'll slap the wood of the chair with their tail.
I'm not approaching them. I'm just. So that's what a halfling was.
Why do I keep rolling the same thing? There is 1 gnome in here as well. So another little green man, and the rest are human.
Innkeeper?
Yes.
Is somewhere?
The innkeeper is behind the bar, kind of awaiting men and women. Big burly man, 2 gigantic tusks that kind of come down and kind of just go out. And you can see he's having a friendly chat with a pair of women that are drinking at the bar.
Great.
So, go up there.
1 room? 2 rooms? What do we do? Common room? I don't know how inns work here. Probably no private rooms. 3 beds.
Yeah.
Hello. 3 beds, please.
So he says, yes, 1 silver apiece. He says, I see why nobody's taking you home.
Yeah, please don't look at my face. I'm hideous.
I vote that Jeff is paying his room by like playing.
We'll get to that next session, what he's doing. And so we'll have to catch him up a little bit, because obviously he's going to have to buy his own shard hard gear and that kind of stuff. Alright, so you guys, you enter the room, and the tavern keeper, innkeeper, whatnot, leads you to the common room, and it's just got probably a dozen bunk beds kind of all set up, and he points to, and they're spread out, not together. He's like, that one's yours, and that one is yours, and that one is whatever Gideon's or whatever you call it. And as you look over in the corner, you see this crisp, burnt, short man.
I'm gonna tap the innkeeper.
Yep.
Do you see him?
He looks over, and as he does, the crisp, burnt man.
Never mind.
Not there.
I'm seeing things. It's a product of my ugliness.
He says, "Huh." He says, "Yeah, you're definitely not a seer." As he walks out of the room.
I love this game.
So the four of you are casually getting ready for bed. It is a common room, so unfortunately you are sharing a room with a bunch of dudes. But there are other women that are sleeping in here as well. It looks like there's a traveling.
Less the fact that I'm sharing a room with dudes.
There's like a.
I'm sharing a room with people.
It looks like there's a pack of what you would call rangers here.
Okay.
They have or a group of rangers, and they have cannibalized most of the room, and you can tell that they got
cannibalized.
Yeah, cannibalized, and you can tell that they're hunters. They themselves are kitted up with gear and whatnot. And
so is there?
You look over and you see. You see this man who's getting ready to bunk for the night, and he sets a longbow up against the bed, and you can see a glint of kind of a bluish crystal embedded into the bow.
Shard heart.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask, like, is there armor and stuff? Like, is it obvious that it's shard heart? Like, there are crystals embedded in their armor?
You can see obviously the
bow.
The bow.
Okay.
The armor and whatnot is like layered, so the shard heart might be down in the layers.
Okay. I'm gonna find one who looks approachable.
Okay.
Ish.
So you find the what you would call the prettiest one of the pack.
My prettiest.
And your prettiest is
their ugliest.
She's almost got brown hair. Like,
oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
exotic.
She's got it back in a ponytail and only one kind of big tusk. And green skin, and it looks like she's getting picked on a little bit by her companions, and so she kind of shunters off to one side and is preparing her bed.
Does it happen to be by one of our beds? Okay.
It's off on the side.
I'm gonna approach her. Excuse me, miss. I don't mean to interrupt you.
She looks up, and you can tell she feels a kinship.
Oh, great. We're going to be best friends. I'm Penelope, but my friends call me Mississippi. It's a long story. I was wondering, you seem like you're a member of this band of hunters?
She says, yes. Yes, we are.
Myself and my companions, we find ourselves needing to go to the Carrion Grotto tomorrow. Do you know of it?
She says, yes. Why are you going to the Carrion Grotto? That is,
We need shards.
Oh, well, if you're desperate, that's the best place to go.
We have none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be careful. The Carrion Grotto is dangerous, but so is the rest of the land, so...
Yeah, we encountered some panthers.
Oh!
Yeah.
We lost
Panthers.
someone.
Yeah, those are rough.
What
You lost somebody.
Yeah.
Oh. I feel for you.
He's probably digested by now.
Yeah, you'll be seeing him soon.
Tragic accident.
You mean? Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. You mean to say that it's normal to see people after they've been devoured by panthers?
Yes. Didn't you know?
No.
It displaces their spirit from their bodies.
Are the spirits harmful or vengeful?
Yeah, it depends upon the person.
So, a maybe.
It really depends on the manner in which he died.
Theoretically, this person did not die well.
Well, obviously he got eaten by panthers.
Probably vengeful. You have to be careful.
How dangerous are they?
About as dangerous as they were in life. So if they die, probably not very dangerous.
Fair.
Okay.
Okay. Moving back to my original question. What can we expect in the Carrion Grotto?
He says, well, that's where creatures go to die.
Okay.
That's why it's called the Carrion Grottos, because
Sure.
of all the carrion creatures that feast upon the bodies of the great beasts.
Okay.
And that's why you'll find your fair share of shards there, is because beasts with shards are drawn to these places, and
When it's their time to die.
When it's their time to die.
Okay. So, what can we expect to fight? Anything? The birds?
Says maggots,
Okay.
leeches,
Okay. Gross.
beetles.
Gross.
He says, and then the gigantic beasts. Perhaps an aged panther. Maybe a goat.
How big are
What
these
are these
things?
goats you speak of?
Goats. They have a body of what was used to be called a lion. Then they have 3 heads. One breathes fire. They have a tail of what used to be called gigantic scorpions. You know the giant scorpions, right? They have tails of those.
Sure.
Okay.
I've seen pictures.
Yes.
How big are the maggots and the things that we're gonna find? The usual.
They vary. They vary from about the size of. She points over the footlocker. She says, "About that size, maybe." And then she points up and she says, "Some of them get up to," and she kind of looks at the bed frame and she says, "It depends on how well they feasted."
Things have gotten bigger.
But if you're looking for shards, that's the best place to find shards.
Is it better to scavenge the shards from the dead bodies or from the carrion creatures?
It's one and the same. Carrion creatures are dangerous.
Yeah. Okay.
How dangerous are the animals going there to die?
They're on their last legs. And of all the beasts, they are
the weakest
are
or the
weakest.
oldest.
Yeah. It's odd how they all gather to the Carrion Grottos to die, but it's like that countrywide.
So there are multiple carrion grottos.
Yes.
Where's the next closest one?
There's one far to the west, next to the sea. There's one far to the north and one far to the east. I think this is the one that's south of us is probably the furthest south one that I know of. I can count 4.
Ley lines?
It's fine. Okay. I'm bad at miming.
Yeah, maybe. We can investigate while we're there. Gotta make sure my cloak's, closed.
Yeah. Huh.
Alright.
Thank you for your help. What's your name?
Lydia.
Thank you, Lydia. I'm gonna go to bed now.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
I'm gonna. Like, you can sleep in leather armor, right?
Yes. So you can sleep in leather armor. So you guys get your long rest in with everything that you require with your long rest. You can switch out your spells and whatnot. In the morning,
I'm gonna start bright and early
you're starting bright and early.
with my prayer wheel in hand,
Yeah. So
trying this kneeling by the bed business.
Yeah, so you get up to make your morning prayer, and you see in the corner this melted and burnt creature that you would call your once companion or friend. Not quite. You just kind of almost died together, and then he did literally die later.
I'm gonna acknowledge his presence. I'll say his name, not with like hostility, but like a old friend greeting a dead
You
friend.
think at this point you're getting about used to being corporeal. It's tough.
Oh.
You can try to speak to her, but you feel it's very...
So, at this point, I try to make my way over there. Obviously, kind of still getting used to.
Every once in a while, you see him. He slips and stumbles, but instead of stumbling like over something, like his foot literally goes through the planks of the floor of the inn, and then he has to stop and struggle to get him
I'm gonna meet him halfway,
back up.
or I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up and move over to him.
Yeah.
And so, as I make my way over there, I say, "This world is crazy, and I don't know how, but I'm here, kind of."
You do wake up at this point to the conversation. You are sleeping through this. Sound.
I'm a very deep sleeper.
Yeah, apparently.
In real life too. It's fine.
Twas the cats.
Yes, those damned cats.
You
Not
was
true.
you was separated.
Yeah.
So your last memory was falling to the cat, kind of like attacking you, and then shortly after that, like almost moments later, you were at the edge of the forest overlooking town, and then it's like pockets of memory here and there. But you're finally believe you're kind of coming to out of like this drift of sleep or stupor that you were in. Yeah.
I'm gonna look you in the eyes. I'm so sorry.
It happens. We just need to make sure we're communicating. Where's Gideon?
Sleeping. Probably.
Yeah, Gideon is, you can see him, he's like half off the bed.
Like how Jeff sits in his chair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All the
like
time.
Yep.
Yes. Oh, I'm still trying to remember everything that happened before. It's coming to me. It'll take some time. But back on my feet, more or less. Once
As he says that, he slips, one of his feet just slips to the floor
It's almost.
as he struggles to.
Lydia say you're vengeful.
Vengeful. It's not your fault that Displacer Beast can knock me out of my body.
The Displacer Beast? What's that?
Panthers.
Yep.
It's like the Panthers are an interesting part of this world. I still have work to do, though. I still must bring some peace and sanity to it, especially with everything that happened at my monastery. But gotta figure out what to do with.
At this point, Mississippi, you're awake. You're waking up.
Oh.
You can hear the conversation.
Upon hearing he doesn't remember any of that being like remotely related to my character will finally like get up and like move into the conversation now that.
Yeah.
So you think I've just been talking to myself this whole time?
No, I
Yes.
would have seen. I've been seeing this.
Yeah, he can see.
Mississippi will kind of start to wake up. No, Felric, you're dead. Shush. What?
More undead, really?
What?
Hello. I'm back.
As he says hello, once again, he kind of stumbles through the floorboard. He has to pull one leg up so he can stand straight on the ground.
Stupid floor.
I'm gonna walk up to him and like poke his shoulder.
So he, for the most part, kind of pushes back, but then eventually your hand.
Ah. Do I feel like anything inside of him?
Like when it goes into him, it's like you're pushing on like water. Like
Ah.
yeah, like you're
Yeah.
dipping your finger in water. It's cool. It doesn't have a whole lot of texture. It kind of flows around your finger. What's that?
Ectoplasm.
That might be a thing. Ectoplasm.
I'm still trying to hold myself together. Please don't.
Sorry. It's. How do you feel?
I feel like I just woke up and the rest of my body is still trying to wake up. Like when your leg falls asleep.
So numb.
A little.
Okay.
A little.
Okay. Are
So-
you gonna continue being?
I hope so. I mean, I'm still a gnome in my prime, so I still have plenty of years. Well, should, but we'll find out.
Maybe they'll think you're prettier now.
Maybe.
Has anyone else acknowledged you, or is it just us?
They're mostly not paying attention to you at all.
No, I was just asking his character if.
Oh,
If like the other
If
people in
we're the only
common room
people that have
notice
seen
him, or if they.
in the common room itself, I mean, they're mostly ignoring your group. You're standing together, and the other hunters at this point are getting ready to. They're gathering up their stuff.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over to Lydia.
Yeah, she's got her bow and quiver, and then you can see she's got a large axe. She takes and she puts onto her back.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, it's just basically a knife. It's fine. Where are you hunters heading off to today? And how can I persuade you to join us to the Carrion Grotto?
Says, we're hunting lions.
What are lions?
Well, how do I say this? They have a face of man, and they fly through the sky, and they have horned tails. And they're vicious beasts, and
It sounds terrifying.
we're paid by the mayor of Harem to cull the lion population around here. It's dangerous.
It sounds like
to the
it.
civilized person. Yeah.
Yeah. Terrifying. Lions. Is there any way that I could persuade, like, just you to come with us to the Carrion Grotto?
No, it takes all of us to take out one single lion. So
How many hunters are there?
about a dozen.
Big lion?
She says, "Well, they're vicious, but she says if you try to do it with less than this, you are most guaranteed to lose a man."
Huh. Always 12.
Yeah.
Any reason to that?
No,
It's just a magic number.
it's just the number to guarantee survival.
Oh. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you need people to set up the nets. You need people to shoot them out of the sky. It's a big operation.
Okay.
to take down some lions. A lion.
A lion.
Okay.
Okay. Well, good luck.
Yep.
Happy hunting.
She says, yes. Hopefully we find ourselves some shards today.
Same.
Yeah.
She says, yeah, better shards.
Look, I'm broke. Okay, I'll take any shards I can get.
Says,
I'm already ugly.
I mean, that was me probably 10 years ago, so.
Bye. Good luck. Don't
She
die.
says, good luck hunting yourself. Hopefully you don't run across anything still living.
We probably will.
All right, so you have the general directions to where the carrying grotto is, and so you
Follow the dying beasts.
yeah, that's the biggest clue right there is follow the old and aged beasts on the way. You're moving through town at this point, and you in your burnt clothing kind of still have to hide your face. So you kind of pull up your robe around your face as you kind of like move through. You exit the town and you see the little girl that Gideon was talking to yesterday.
I've never seen him before in my life.
I'm the only one that's...
She's throwing. Yeah, you met her. Oh, you didn't meet her.
No,
Well,
I
you
was
didn't
unconscious.
You met her after you got.
You met her for just a moment. She didn't want to help.
Yeah,
you.
because I'm ugly.
Yeah. Anyways, you see her. She's taking a ball. She's tossing it down the street, and as you guys get closer, she waves at Gideon, and then kind of like
I'm pulling my head up.
looks at you guys, and she's like, "Is that this?" You can tell that she's trying to figure out if this is the same people or not. Anyways, but then she continues on. You can see she's in addition to having throwing the ball, she's got a doll with a very nice clothing basically that she has. And the doll has gigantic tusks that go up the entire face, and
The doll's name is Emily.
rag doll hair. Yeah. And she's got that in one hand, and she runs on the street and chases after the ball. So you exit the city of Harmony. The four of you, five technically, and you make your way south towards the Carrion Grotto.
What's the weather like?
Oh, weather. Let's find out. It is a cool summer day. Little on the breezy side. And you're looking at it and you're like, there's a possibility that it could rain this afternoon. Like, not thunderstorm, but not extremely pleasant weather. But
Okay.
not enough to deter you from traveling. Anyway, so you're making your way out through the city, and I think that's where we're going to take our break. Because it is break time. So we're going to come back in 10 or so minutes after a break, and we're going to have ourselves some fun in the Carrying Grotto.
It sounds like so much fun.
We're back, and right now our group of adventurers are making their way to a place that's known as the Carrying Grotto. They have learned that the Carrying Grotto is a place for fantastic beasts. This is where you find them, and when they go to die. So that's where they're heading to right now. And we're going to start off with a little bit of what I like to call a random encounter check. And we're going to see if anything happens to you on the way. The way I do my random encounters is I roll a d12. On an 11, it's a easy encounter. On a 12, it's a hard encounter.
Oh boy, here come Panthers.
And I don't know. So you guys are traveling on the road to the south, following basically what was at one point the highway going south out of Harmony. It's now a road, cobblestone road, out of disrepair, out of this village known as Harm, and following that to the south. Your directions were to follow that to the south until you can smell the Carrion Grotto, and then you would be able to find it from there, just based on the smell of basically like it's a butcher shop, is what they described it. So you are making your way down the path.
Like a good butcher shop, or like a bad butcher shop that it's amazing they're still in business? There's a difference.
I'm imagining.
It's their description, so it could go either side of that coin.
Okay, but see, they have different perspectives on physical beauty, but I like to think, hopefully, that their standards on, like, food safety are the same.
Well, everything else seems to be relatively the same. Like, the clothing are generally the same, except for some of the materials that they're using. They have the same kind of sense of style, the same sense of cleanliness. There are some things that you notice that are a little different. It is a little bit more primal, you would say.
Okay.
Looks like they've regressed a little bit.
Yeah, they went back to a tribal state probably for,
Yeah,
or something,
something along those lines. You know, that's great for the archaeologist to kind of think of. So, yeah, you're making your way down, and you're traveling probably half the day, and then you do finally get a whiff. It smells like beef jerky, meat that's been sitting out in the sun, but not enough where it's rotten, just more that you can kind of
dried,
kind of get that aged Kobe beef smell.
I'm a vegetarian now.
So you can follow that a little bit to the east, you think, off the beaten path.
That way?
All the smell.
All right. As you're kind of going, you're walking through, and one of the things that you notice is there are kind of what you would call, you guys know what an aphid is, right? You can see that there are some of them that are probably the size of like a football, munching on the flora kind of in this area. And as you get close, they just simply just fly away, or but they're basically just these gigantic herbivores, kind of just munching on this kind of.
Herbivores before we get to the carnivores. I see how it is. Okay. Should we be stealthy?
Crickets.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, we don't want to talk about crickets. Yeah. So you pose that to the group, and everybody just kind of looks at you dumbfounded.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'm not opposed to it.
Alright.
Okay.
Can you be stealthy again?
Roll a group stealth check.
I like that idea better.
See what?
What do you get?
Are you saying that celestial is Spanish?
I'm not saying it's not. I got a
11.
Can you be stealthy?
That's a really good question. I'm gonna go with maybe.
By the way, listen.
All right. So this is how it goes. If your companion's stealth checks are below your passive perception, you can obviously tell that they're not being stealthy. You don't even need to worry about that, because this guy over here, right? As he's trying to be stealthy, he's walking through, and then once again, those hunky feet of his phase through the ground, the dirt, and then he pulls up the dirt, snapping roots and rocks kind of coming out. And he goes and takes a couple more steps, and then he's focusing so much on being stealthy, he's like losing the ability to just it starts off with nothing, and eventually he gets louder and louder and louder. And he's like, oh, "This is a great song. I wish I could write it down."
At this point, I look to you and then point to him and be like, "How am I
You're doing great, kid.
So you
Keep
come
up the
across,
good work.
as you're walking, you actually come across a cliffside of the grotto. So the grotto itself is kind of like a valley or kind of inset into the ground, like this big crack or crevice that is set down, and you can see down into the grotto. You can see that there are like gigantic bones of various different creatures. You can't seem to make out what these creatures were, but whatever they are, they were massive in size.
So this is the boneyard for the Lion King.
Yeah, boneyard from the Lion King straight up. However, you do see that there are occasional beasts that are also
That are dying.
in the process. Uh, 600, 700 feet away, there's this gigantic worm, purple in color with spikes coming out its side, and it's laying there, and every once in a while it twitches. Along with other kind of massive skeletal whatnot, and that seems to be the only thing that's in the process of quote unquote dying. You do see that there are 3 weeks. It's definitely been gnawed on, but it still has some of its skin. The tentacles that were on its back completely been chewed off at this point. But the bulk of the creature remains.
Stab the worm.
stab the worm?"
I'm gonna go stab the worm.
You're gonna go
I'm gonna go stab the worm.
Okay, so
I'm gonna.
so you're on a cliffside.
Uh-oh. Okay. Tell me more.
Yeah, so the cliffside, it goes down probably about 20 feet. It's jagged. It's not a sheer cliff. And you can see that they're looking around. We can see signs of the cliffside eroding, falling off, with like loose rocks that are on the bottom. And way off further to the east, you see maybe a more gentle slope going down into the grotto.
Oh, okay. So we're at a cliff overlooking the boneyard. We can see the purple worm down there.
Down in the grotto, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I have a climber's kit,
Okay.
so I don't know if I have proficiency in it, but I possess it.
I don't think you need proficiency in a climber's kit. I think
Okay.
what it does is it allows you to have advantage on your athletics check to climb.
Okay. I will use.
If I remember that right.
I can roll with that. That's fine.
We'll do that.
Okay. I can use any help I can with an athletics check. So I will use my climber's kit to climb down.
Okay. So you use a hammer and
Strike a
pittance,
python.
and you in the kind of this rocky face, you were able to pin down and loop a rope through, tie it to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a climber's kit would probably come with a harness and everything.
Yes, it does.
And then you begin to rappel down the side.
Okay.
With you basically, as you're pushing this rope on, that lets you go down. You have enough rope to reach the bottom.
Okay.
Roll a athletics check with advantage because of the rope and kit.
This is gonna be embarrassing. It's a 4.
So the way climb checks work is when you fail by just a failure, you don't make any progress.
Okay.
But if you fail by 5 or more, you get drastic results.
Yeah.
So as
I'm
you
about to get some drastic results.
as
here.
you basically make it over the edge and begin to rappel down, you press against the jagged wall, and then your foot goes right into basically a sharp rock, and you screech, "Ow!" as you take 1 point of damage, but also yank the piton out of the wall as in your reflex,
Okay.
and you fall down.
Okay.
Or
Yep.
I'd like to.
Stacking fall damage, guys.
My character knew Featherfall, and I think he'd attempt to cast it. And I've got one spell that doesn't. That's beyond touch right now.
okay.
So he's gonna attempt to cast Featherfall on her, and instead cast Silent Image.
Okay. I'm gonna roll the damage. While you do, tell me what your image is.
I'm assuming it's just a second copy of her falling.
Okay, yeah. So you take 8 damage as you rocket to the ground after jamming your foot into a rock, sharp rock, and you hit the ground and you're on your back and you're like, ugh. And as you see a duplicate of you fall and kind of almost do the exact, but without the sound. How long does that last?
Up to 10 minutes.
So there it is, squirming, doing the exact duplicate of what you are doing. You're
Have
looking
I
at
been
it.
eaten by
It's
a
looking.
panther?
Huh?
Have I been eaten by a panther and didn't know it?
I'm gonna ask the other people at the top of the cliff, if they're seeing 2 of her, and I think I actually just realized I could cash in inspiration.
What's that?
Uh,
Show the camera.
Yep,
What is it?
it's a person like hanging from a branch.
Yep, that's
That's
climbing.
appropriate.
So, did you hit the ground then?
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah. So the 3 of you, 4 technically, are standing on top, looking down, and as she's basically like, you're probably getting up at this point, but so is the image.
Brushing off my clothes.
And the image is like
Cracking my
Like-
back.
a second behind you. So as you're cracking it back, then it cracks its back.
Can I roll Arcana to see if I can... I don't know much about magic, but I have
think
worked with him
images
occasionally.
are intelligence saving throws when you interact with them.
Investigation against my save, so...
Well, it's investigation,
Hint
so-
investigation.
which is intelligence, but
That's a 13.
Saves a 12, so
That's...
you're not going full Groucho in the mirror.
yeah.
So would I be able to correlate that it's him? Maybe.
You were
This is
caught
a
in the
weird
moment
new
when you were.
world.
Yeah, it's the thing is it could be just the crazy world.
Yeah, maybe I got eaten by a panther and didn't know it.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'm dead.
All right, what do you 3 up here do?
Are you okay?
Ow. There's another me? Why?
I don't see any panthers.
That was supposed to be to slow you down. I don't quite know what happened there.
How is another me gonna slow me down?
It made him, and I point to Gideon, it made him not splat into the stage the other day. Or year.
You know that his spells have been backfiring and not exactly doing what they're meant to be doing.
Can you make it go away?
Yeah, you just stopped concentrating.
Yeah, I'll just break concentration on it now that I figured out that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. Yep.
Great.
So,
Be careful when you come down. There's a really sharp rock right there.
you can see a little bit of her blood on the rock.
Is the rope
Favoring
still
my leg.
connected and all that jazz?
To the piton that's down by her.
How far is like the gentle slope from where we're at?
Another 500 feet to the east.
Okay then.
Is the purple worm between me and where the gentle slope ends?
No, it's on the other side of the grotto.
Are you going this way or are you going that way?
I think we'll go
Well-
that way.
Yeah, we'll meet you at the bottom of the slope.
Okay.
If I could roll my eyes any harder, I'd be blind.
All right, so you get towards the slope. I want each of you to roll nature checks. Yeah, and then who's trained in nature? Anybody?
Sorry.
Look at all these. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nope. 12.
10. Oh, no.
You guys see that there is a gigantic beetle.
Yeah, it might be a puppy.
Right?
You never know this place.
Let's
There's a
check
gigantic
out.
beetle that's rolling a ball of flesh
Gross.
up the basically the gentle slope.
I'd like to trigger a gag reflex. Like a.
Yeah.
An audible.
It's visible to you once you kind of get closer and on your it was obviously coming from the other direction when you guys came down there, and now it's going towards the bottom of the slope, and it's going to be making its way up. Did you walk with them kind of along the edge of the?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little sneaky about it because I don't know what lives in this boneyard.
Okay, I'll go ahead and roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a 24.
Yeah, so you basically use the shadows of the overhang and the occasional bone and whatnot.
I am very small.
You dart. Well, some of these bones are very big. You dart from bone to bone and overhang and rock formation. And you're there, and you're probably about 200 feet away from this gigantic rhino beetle of sorts. And
Does it look like a rhino beetle I've seen? Just bigger?
Yeah.
Well, that's not normal, but at least it's familiar.
So, I don't think rhino beetles are. I don't even know if I know what I've probably seen a rhino.
What did you do to
beetle.
nature?
12.
You know what a rhino beetle is.
Okay. So, I know it's not like a predator. It's just big and using what it's got.
Do you kill it? I gotta go stab that worm.
Yeah,
You
let's
can't
just,
talk with him. He's
I
up.
think-
You're shouting up. You would
Oh, okay,
shout.
then no, I'm.
You would shout.
I don't know who you're talking to.
The rest of you can talk to each other.
I think we can walk right past this thing. It's just gonna do its own thing. Supposedly, it used to be an herbivore, but
At this point, I'm just kind of staring like, is that a ball of flesh?
You can see that there's like bits and bobs of meat kind of hanging off of it, and every once in a while, as it's moving, like it gushes blood.
I'm gonna gag again.
That was really gross.
I can't even look at it.
Mm.
Like you can see me. I'm just like.
It's brutal.
do we smash it or do we?
I'd stay here.
I say let's go down to meet up with Mississippi.
Here or are you talking about the slope?
The slope.
It's coming up the slope.
It's coming up the slope.
That's coming up the slope.
We should pick a side, off to the side, and just be ready for in case it decides to add us to that ball.
Yeah.
But if it'll let us pass,
Yeah.
I'd say let's let it pass.
Yeah.
Turn Abbott. Do you think you can hold back on gagging while we pass for just a few moments?
Mine try.
Okay.
Mine do best.
Okay.
So left or right?
Whichever side's closest to her, I guess. So.
I would say probably the
Right.
left.
The side that would be closest to me would be the cliff side, as opposed to the not cliff side.
But I'm talking about down the slope.
Yeah.
It'd be the left one because we. Anyways.
All right.
You think I'm paying attention to directions?
So you guys are standing off to the side while it rolls up.
Yep.
You're not moving closer to it or further away.
Right.
That's what I say. We're going over toward the one side of the
We're
path.
we're giving it a berth so it can
Yeah.
go past, but keeping an eye on it in case it
Okay.
starts making moves at us.
You?
I will.
I'm still sneaking, and I'm making my way towards them. Can I see this thing?
Yes.
And I can see them in the path of this thing?
Yeah.
Move faster.
You move faster. All right. So I'm gonna set this up because this is an encounter.
You mean it? It wasn't an encounter before. You could have just noped right out of here.
Avoidable.
Yeah,
By
by
everyone's
going
So-
down the cliff.
This is the this is it going up. We're gonna say you are over here, and then I'm just gonna kind of really quickly mark that this is jagged. Actually, we'll just go like that, like this. Then you can't.
Yeah.
And you guys are Abbott's back because he can't handle this.
I would, you know what? If I were any higher level, like any higher level, I would just cast Death Ward on myself and jump off, just to avoid this thing.
All right. So it's pushing this mass of flesh up, and as it gets up towards the top of the
Y'all gonna die.
gentle slope, it looks over to you three, and then it glows purple underneath its shell. And when it does, roll initiative. What we're going to do is everybody is going to roll stealths versus its perception. Ooh.
21.
Hey, that's 2 digits. That's good for you.
I got a 10.
You're gonna hurl, and this thing's gonna come after us.
You'll take pity on me.
It's gonna Katamari you.
All right. So first we got Belric.
21.
21. And then we got Elrindal.
20 not natural.
Nice. 16.
Mississippi 16. Abbott.
10.
You are too distracted by.
Her gag.
Okay, so
His
Belric,
gag reflex.
you get to go first. You understand that it's it knows where you are. More likely, it probably knows where Abbott is. Of you hiding up the side.
Because I could probably hear her going, oh.
Yeah.
Does it smell?
Well, the whole area smells like meat.
But
But
that probably
the
is more.
ball or the bug, you're not at this point.
All right. So it glows purple.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going. Can I ready an action as far as like if it does move any closer, or if it does anything like just outright hostile, then I can attack it, or
Sure. You still have a move and a bonus.
all right. Actually, no, I'm gonna just go right up to it because I figure it probably can hear Abbott from where it's
Yeah,
at.
you're just gonna go on the offensive.
Yeah.
All right.
So at this point, what I'm going to do.
I think of that yesterday.
So
Alright.
since my weapons are part of my soul, I would still have them,
Mhm.
thankfully. While holding my wakizashi in my hand, I'm going to go ahead and attack it with just an unarmed strike, but then also do a flurry of blows.
Yep.
I'll do the regular attack first here. Natural 20.
Is he no longer anime-touched?
Was that amputated from your... Is it a body thing, not a soul thing? The enemy.
It's a soul thing.
It's a soul thing.
It's a soul thing. So, as... Oh, I suppose you gotta get your cards, don't you?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Rising Soul Strike.
Right. So the first one is going to just be Tiger Swipe, and I'll wait to draw the cards to see what I have to do for rolling damage. And then while he's doing that, I'll go ahead and roll the 2 for the flurry of blows. And so that one's going to be 3. That one's going to be 9. Alright, waiting on Gal here. What I'm going to be shouting out as I attack, the first one's just going to be the Tiger Swipe. The second one is going to be Crab Pits.
Okay.
And so that's going to be the like that.
Oh no, this is the critical hit deck. I left the critical fumble deck in the car.
No one screw
So
up.
don't roll ones. Otherwise it's around the car.
Alright, and is it the top one?
Your blood
third,
so
isn't it?
third one.
Third one. Alright. Now, is this supposed to be for me? Because this says setback. Or is that what happens to them?
Yeah, that's right.
I critically hit him.
Let me see.
Yeah, that's...
That might be the monster decks. I think there's a different one for players and monsters.
That's the critical failure.
No, this is the critical failure deck, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just say you do double damage for now then.
Okay. So
Left
the
of
first one
second
was a
card.
crit, the second one was a 23, and the third one was 9.
So the 9 misses, the
Alright.
crit hits.
And then the 23.
So as you hit him, basically, you can feel it that you're crushing into the shell of this creature,
Yep.
and as you're doing so, basically his inner juices, right, in this kind of weird sickly green color,
Green or purple?
kind of splash out in all different directions.
Purple glow, green juice.
And you take 7 and 8 acid damage from that.
I'm going to resolve my damage before that. So, 1 second here. So, for the...
7 for the first hit, 8 on the second hit.
Alright. You said it was just double damage, so then 6. So, the crit would be 9 damage, and then the other one would be 5 damage. And then I take how much acid damage?
7 and 8.
7 and 8, 15. This is sounding familiar. Alright.
Are we just gonna Kenny you every week?
Okay.
Elrindle.
Well, I'm gonna attempt to do Elrendil's magnificent, multifaceted sphere,
Okay.
Oh,
and
this is gonna go horribly.
I'll move out so I can see it. And keeping the he's got a history of being a great meat shield, so I'll keep him between me and the bug.
Yep.
And no surge, so to hit. 19 to hit.
19 to hit is hits.
Okay. And then red is damage type. I'm gonna hit it with acid for 9.
Okay.
That'll show him.
Acid damage?
Yep.
Your acid damage seems to not affect it. Like it goes on to it, and the shell seems to like perfectly, like it just drips off like water.
I didn't cauterize it. That's a good thing.
Okay.
And that'd be me.
So that's you then. 16 would be Mississippi, however.
Yes.
It's also the this thing's turn.
Of course it is.
So,
Yep.
two things happen. First, it's going to go after you. But when it does, it stops holding on to this giant ball of flesh.
Which starts rolling back
Which
downhill.
starts rolling back down.
Run, Indy.
Oh my
to
god.
about there. And when it does, when it finally goes down to the bottom of the hill, it also kind of cracks open a little bit.
Oh, God.
And these gigantic maggots start crawling or squirming their way out
That changes everything.
of the orb or sphere or.
Mmm. Tasty. These
Oh
are
my.
fantastic, guys.
Pinata's open.
Yeah. Yay.
So these now it's going to actually do its thing on you there.
Okay.
So it can makes two claw attacks and one sting attack. Okay. So we have a 1d20, 15 AC,
No,
21 AC,
that'll hit.
and 21 AC. Okay. So for its one claw attack, it is 9 slashing damage, 3 acid damage, and you are grappled.
Just automatically grappled, or do I get to contest it with my?
Automatically grappled.
Oh, okay then. So 1 and 3.
And then it tries to sting you with its gigantic, or it does successfully sting you. And how's your hit points?
Let's see here. 1 second.
If you die now, are you like forever dead?
1 second. I'm looking one thing up.
Season 2, we got Kenny.
Yeah. Master Klaus.
1 second. I'm
What
trying
do
to
you-
look up the one thing for the incorporeal. I'm trying to see if it can be used as a reaction or what.
Oh no.
Incorporeal movement?
Yeah, no, he can do it. I can't remember if it was a move. I don't think you can use it as a reaction. I think it was a bonus.
I haven't used my bonus.
Yeah, but you
No.
can't do that on
I know.
turn.
That's why I'm.
Okay. So 4 piercing and 5 acid. So another 9 damage to you, sir.
Of course. Alright. How much?
9 total. How many hit points did you have?
Well, after you automatically grappled me,
Okay.
that brought me to 8. You are horrible, sir. You are horrible.
Sorry, sir. And now it is Mississippi's turn.
Okay. So I'm going to. Do I have a shot on a short bow at the beetle?
With the beetle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna throw a shot at the beetle, and because he's within melee range of it, then
Nope.
I get.
He's unconscious.
Dang it! You ruined everything. Okay. Alright. Cool. That changes everything. Alright, cool. Bonus action, insightful fighting. So, insight versus a deception. I have an 18 plus.
I get a 1.
Okay, cool. So I do get sneak attack. Great. So a short bow then.
Okay.
which is a 20, modified 20 to hit.
Yes.
So that is a total of 10 piercing.
10 piercing. Okay.
And then use my movement. Yeah, I'm gonna get in its space because I've already almost died once.
Abbott.
What's the worst that could happen? I'll just come back. Maybe.
I'm gonna peek myself around the corner.
Okay.
And I want to...
You move 10 feet and you can see Balric's limp body being flung around by the...
I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame
Okay.
on that thing, because I'm not getting any closer to it.
It makes a dex save. You get a 13?
Dang. My save is 12.
Okay. So it saves.
Alright.
Bum, 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 bum.
Okay.
Anything else?
Grab my mace. Pull my mace and get prepared, I guess.
Okay. Initiative 9 is the maggots.
Of course it is.
They can move 20 feet.
Of course they can.
Those are some quick moving maggots.
Those are some quick moving maggots. How many legs do they have?
0.
Those are some quick moving maggots.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them are within range of you.
Of course they are.
Okay. A 1 miss.
Okay.
Does a 14 hit you?
No.
They both miss.
Excellent. Still alive, guys.
So they go up and they have these weird kind of claw
Mouths?
mouths and but you're like, you get away from me, and it's successful. Okay. So we're looping up all the way to the top, Belric.
So, by the way, the one thing is not a reaction, action, or bonus action.
It's just an action. I'm not gonna say you can do that to that would.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Anywho, at this point, since I'm at -1, I'll go ahead and roll my
Death save.
beloved saves. Not a 1, but it is going to be still a failure. So just one failure.
Yep. All right. Next up, Elric.
Second level, magnificent, multifaceted sphere.
Okay.
This
Hope for non-acid this time.
hoping for not acid.
Big question. If I'm being grappled, is there a chance I can get hit?
No.
Okay.
So, see if I surge. Nope. So, where are you? That. I'm going to do the empowered spell to reroll 2 of my damage dice.
Okay.
So that was 18 to hit
18 hits.
for 16 force.
Okay. It takes a 16 force damage. Anything else? Does it bounce?
It does not. That's what I was hoping to do.
No.
Like, damage type's not acid. Hope for a bounce. I'm gonna heroically back away slightly.
Heroically.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else?
No, that should be it.
Emily, if you would do the honors.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. How slightly?
It's better. I want to say heroically heroically supporting behind the healer.
Okay.
All right. It drops you. It turns and swings at you.
Okay.
Okay. So total of 3 attacks.
Okay.
Claw, 9.
Miss.
Miss. Other claw, 18.
Hit.
And pincer, 17.
Hit.
Okay. So the first claw, 8. No, sorry. right, it's a D8. It's 4 slashing damage
Okay.
and
To
9
blame
acid
Gideon, he's
damage.
doing
You are
nothing.
grappled.
Right?
And then the next one, the sting is 11 piercing damage. Holy crap. And 2 acid.
Yeah, there's no reason to apply acid damage. I'm unconscious.
Oh my god.
So does the acid damage count as posthumous?
No.
Okay.
No. Alright.
This is great, guys. We're doing great.
You have a party of the undead at the end of this.
Yeah, no kidding. It's Mississippi's turn.
Just save.
Just save. Holy crap.
So he's burned.
Pass.
Okay.
He's burned crispy. You would be melted.
Yeah.
And then we're going to
Something like that. Chemical burns?
Abbott's turn.
Alright, I'm gonna try this sacred flame business again.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like the worst version of the seven.
Another
Dwarfs.
dex
We're gonna have
save.
crispy, melty.
I get a 3.
Oh,
No
awesome.
talk so good.
Yeah.
Sweet. So that takes 1d8.
Or is Gideon?
So 5 points of radiant damage.
Takes the full 5. It is
Edgy.
bloody.
And
Yes.
let's also
That
put
was
a
also gonna be-
spiritual weapon over there as a bonus action.
What was your spiritual weapon?
It's a mace.
Yeah, there we go.
It's cool.
Okay, so where is it?
Let's put it on either side.
Go up there and smash a beetle.
Okay.
Jeez.
Does it take a hit from that right now, or is it the next round?
It does take a hit from it right
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So
So roll with your spellcasting.
natural 20.
There you go.
Oh yeah, you just did do double damage because I
Yeah.
forgot my stupid card in the car.
Double damage.
Double damage.
Roll it
2
twice. Add my
you roll-
modifier once.
Yes.
Okay. That is a d8. Oh, come on.
Sorry.
5, so that's a 6 plus 10. 10 points of damage of the bludgeonings.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, that's force damage.
Okay. Belric?
Alright. Can I do the death save with inspiration?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll just roll twice then. 19 before any modifiers.
So success.
And 10, so the 19.
Yeah, it's a success.
There we go. Woo.
Are we alright?
Working on it. Just keep going.
Okay, then we're
Well, now that I'm safely by the healer, I will, I'm gonna keep doing the only thing I know that works. Something that remotely works. We're gonna do that at second level again. No surge. We'll find out. I'm gonna try to chaos because I also rolled one too many of the fire damage.
Okay.
7, 10, 15.
15? Does it bounce?
It does not. It does not bounce, and you get to cash in a wild magic at some point.
Oh man. Alright, it is near death. And Elrindel, its turn. It doesn't care about you guys, so it's gonna go up to here.
Of course it is.
Does the
I'm
spiritual weapon
throwing
get
up
an
on myself.
opportunity attack? No. Okay.
Spiritual weapons do not.
Okay.
It's gonna come up to you and it's going to attack with its attack suite. 8, 8, 9.
No.
Mississippi.
That's a failure.
Okay. And then, Abbott.
I'm going to try and sacred flame it.
Okay. Dex save.
That's somewhat successful.
An 11.
That doesn't save.
Okay. So it takes the damage.
4 points of damage.
Okay. And then bonus action, move your and attack.
And then it gets to hit. Sweet. That's a 18.
Yep.
Seven and 8.
15.
Oh wait, I just need to roll 1. So
Yeah, just roll. Just re-roll it.
reroll it. Okay. 4.
4.
4 plus. So 8 total.
Okay, that kills it.
Yes. That's 4 and 4.
He's reading and I'm worried.
All right.
Go.
As it dies, since you are adjacent to it, please make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I'm pulling my guts out. I'm telling you that right now. If it blows up on me, natural 20.
Okay. Like a bunch of the guts gets onto you and whatnot, and they're gross and disgusting, but that's about it. Maggot's turn.
I think we just killed its merm. Their merm.
Well, there's 2 unconscious bodies, so that might look like food. Yeah, we look like food.
Where are you at? You're like on the other side of that thing, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm like 2 spaces away from Velric.
Rest assured, there's about to be a wild magic surge just chucked in that direction.
Okay, great. So
Cool.
we're all gonna explode.
Okay, each of you take 1 death hit. As 1 maggot chomps on you. Okay.
This is fine.
All the way up top, Belric.
Okay.
Don't roll 1.
Don't jinx me, man. 18. 4 modifiers.
You're successful. Okay. Belric.
Yeah, I'm gonna. From where I'm at, I'm gonna have anything remotely useful. Nothing AoE that would help with this. We're gonna first level magnificent multifarious sphere.
Multifaceted.
Yes. I'm just gonna keep using random M words. The name changes every time.
Yeah.
Random F words.
Multifarious, multifaceted,
Functional?
multi-something. Multifunctional, multifusal. Let's see if it naturally surges. It does not.
It's gonna surge.
Yeah.
Your spell will go off no matter what.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
Good news, it's probably not gonna hit.
You sure?
No, 9.
9 hits and things.
Sweet.
wow.
Unfortunately, this is gonna be acid damage. Fortunately, it bounces.
Okay. How much damage?
10.
Which one did you do it on?
The closest one.
Dead.
Great.
And it bounces.
Yep. Does not bounce a second time. This time it's fire.
How much damage?
12.
Dead.
Great.
Did you want it to bounce this one?
What's the closest one?
I've got how
Yeah,
many
which
feet?
one of us dead people do you like better?
And then
30
roll
feet? Can it bounce within 30 feet to something on
Yeah.
her end, like the farthest one?
farthest one.
Yeah.
Bless.
And then roll your.
Yep. What are we calling the target on this? Alright, I like that. 6,000 and 74. 6074.
6074.
Right, is that a 6 or an 8? 6. Yeah, definitely a 6.
All right. Those two you hit are shining brightly, letting off an extreme amount of light, like a beacon into the sky.
Oh, great. They know we're here.
Ding
Okay.
dong.
That's it.
Pass.
Okay. Is that 3 passes?
No, that's 2 passes.
Okay. Then we're up to Abbott.
I'm going to. Do I have enough space? I'll come around
Okay.
and see.
Yeah. So you want to go like
Yeah.
to one of these? To next to him? This is next to both of them.
I'm gonna see. I'm about to get swarmed, but I'm gonna cast some healing touch on
Which one? On her.
Healing word or
some
Cure wounds.
cure wounds?
some spare the dying,
Oh, thank you.
because I don't think it works on you. It says it works on constructs, but
Not a construct.
Not undead.
Yeah, not a
Yeah.
construct, but he's
You don't.
already
It
died.
may. Who knows?
okay. So
All right.
we'll give it a try.
For the
So
dying, that's a
you're
third
stable.
death fail.
And then you still get your weapon thingy.
I'm gonna beat him up with a stick. Yeah.
Spiritual
So I'm gonna hit the one that's munching on her.
On him?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
With some Sacred Flame again, since it hasn't bit me yet, until it does now when I get a 1.
That was your spiritual weapon, wasn't it?
That's your-
No, that was Sacred Flame.
Okay, so that's spiritual weapon got a 1.
Sacred Flame
Should-
isn't an attack.
No, that was a spiritual weapon that got it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a spiritual weapon that you rolled for the attack.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got it. I got a 1.
Okay.
Maybe I should have taken Jeff's spot.
Maybe.
Should I just give it to you, or
Yeah.
Spiritual weapon's gonna have splattering him.
Probably.
Don't jinx me, man.
All right.
Expect
So
the worst.
an additional target ally is affected by the spell at half potency.
So it's one of the other.
So your sacred weapon, it hits him and gives him a death failure.
Is that 3?
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Oh my god.
Super serious.
oh my god.
In theory, is it a melee attack?
Oh, yeah, it
that's
gets an
crit
attack
failing
roll.
and not a spell?
It gets an attack.
To-
roll. Well,
To Hail Mary the see if the
'Cause I
other
still
effect.
have armor even if I'm unconscious.
Correct.
yeah, it
So,
still gets an attack roll on him.
Okay.
yeah.
Oh my god.
You got a 20, didn't you?
I got a 16.
Can I burn
So
an
it's
inspiration to give her
unnatural 20.
disadvantage?
Yeah, I'll let that happen. Reroll that, sir. Ma'am.
Sir, I'll take
It's-
both.
It's
How does an 8?
8 misses.
Sounds
12
fantastic.
sound? A 12 sounds better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Absolutely incredible.
So
All right.
mad.
Great. We're doing great, kids.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
This is awesome. We're having a
that's
good time.
Maggots. You're attacking, so this one crawls over your body. You're not aware of that.
I'm not aware of anything.
Um,
I just
Feel
may
how
be
gross that
slightly
is?
moist when I woke up.
and now hopefully we get to see what happens because I'm rolling 4 attack rolls on the
I think if it is an organic facial.
miss.
Yeah, I've already got that going on.
I
with the
got
whole
1 hit at
cheese
22.
slime.
Yep.
It's fair.
We have
16
no idea what this is doing to my complexion.
and miss.
It could be making
Yeah,
me uglier,
16. 16
Which is
hits.
good in this world.
or it's making me prettier.
4 damage and 3 damage, and they both latch to you.
Okay, 7 points of damage, and now I've got Klingons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also worth noting that when they do this, they crawl up underneath your armor and they're like underneath your clothes and like biting at your leg.
God.
That's horrible.
How much damage did I take again?
Total of 7.
7? Okay.
Um,
Ugh.
Belric?
All right.
Last one. Maybe.
Actually, one
No, yeah, he's
I'm
2
bringing
and
out
2.
different dice.
Yeah, bring out the good ones.
You have failed me for the last time.
Can I give this to you just in case?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say no.
that's a good idea.
Taking a lot of resources.
Yeah.
It's taken a lot to keep you alive. Or
It's,
semi-alive.
Does your character want to live?
I say no, but let's see.
You seem to be pulling like the panda, where it's just this creature doesn't want to not go extinct.
You mean the koala?
Or yeah, the koala.
Yeah.
All right, this should have.
One second here.
Do you want my not crappy ones?
Here.
Yeah, do that. And then you also got to roll. You roll advantage because of
16.
successful.
Okay.
How many saves is that?
That is 3.
You are stable.
Sweet.
We want one session without killing you.
Great.
Session ain't over yet.
We're both stable.
Your turn, sir.
I'm gonna attempt to burn. I believe I had whatever the like chuck a glob of poison was a cantrip I knew, but I'll let him pick what ends up happening because I have 2 things resembling that for a cantrip. Either way, it's a nat 20 to hit the nearest one, and it's a firebolt.
So you crit it.
Yes. So double the damage.
Yep.
2d10.
I'll give you a hint. They don't have more than 1 hit point.
All right.
So you really just need to land a hit.
I did it. 11.
Okay. That was Elrindle. Mississippi is stable. Abbott.
I'm gonna get these things out of my pants.
Okay. You can either attack
There's
them,
the episode title.
but they are also a standard action to remove.
So it's one whole action to remove one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If I remove one, can I just rip it apart with my own hands? And
Yes.
okay. So I'll do that to one of them.
Sorry, my wife's texting me. I have to watch this episode of Let's Play, apparently. Okay, so yeah, so you just grab one.
I want to grab one and hurl it at.
You grab one and hurl it, and it like bursts on the ground. As it,
like a water balloon.
Yeah, like a water balloon, and you believe that's your blood over there.
Gross.
I'm gonna need a shower after this.
Yeah. So then it's their turn. There's 2 of them. They're both attacking. They're both attacking you. 10. Oh, an 18. So, 10. The 18 would be the one that's already up in you. So he does get bonus. He does get bonus damage on this. For 6 damage. And then it's Elrindle's. So there's one you can see and one that's in her pants. His pants.
Shoot at the one I can see.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna chuck another one. This one's a chill touch. For, 9.
9 hits.
Yep.
They have 8 AC.
It goes splat.
And it goes splat. Your turn. You can end it by just standard action reaching into your pants and pulling out the last one. Squishing.
Make sure you're pulling out the magnet, not anything else.
Not like,
Got it!
was that Lost Boys? Not Lost Boys. Is it Lost? No, not Lost Boys. Stand by me.
What's that line? Look away!
When they jumped in the water and
Look away, child.
they had the leeches. I'm trying to remember that movie. All right, so there we are. We're out of rounds.
Yay.
and
Are two of
there
the
are two
maggots still
unconscious.
beaconing?
What's that?
Are there two corpses still beaconing?
Yes, they are.
We need to drag them away from whatever this is gonna attract. And I point at the lights.
Is it D4 to see how long it takes to come conscious, or is there something they can do?
It's a D4.
Of course.
Okay. So you're unconscious for quite some time.
I rolled a 3.
You're also unconscious for quite some time.
Let's go find a nice skeleton to hide in for a bit.
Affirmative.
Yeah.
So-
You two, what would you like to do? You're standing basically on the top of this gentle slope down into the Carrion Grotto. And you fought what's a rhino beetle of such that is a little bit more aggressive than what you would thought a rhino beetle should be, and then also like these weird maggot things.
So I know I'm unconscious, but did the rhino beetle, like, is there still a purple glow coming from it or anything? Not that I can see it, but
I suppose I'm
for
still
No,
seeing
that
it.
is
narrative's
that
sake?
that purple glow dimmed when it died.
I'll pick. Point, I could probably just pick up both of them, right?
She's a gnome, I'm a halfling.
Yep.
So they both weigh like 20 pounds.
40.
30?
I think
Yeah.
I could lift 40 pounds.
Yeah.
So I'll just grab them both and kind of hide them in one of the skeletons.
So that's actually cliffside, but yes.
Oh, I'll hide them in the cliffside.
Yeah.
We'll find like
Roll a stealth for me. Is how well you hide them.
It's a 17.
Okay, yeah, you found a little niche in the wall, and you stow their small bodies within the niche.
As I'm like kind of stuffing them into the, I'll kind of like look at you and be like, search.
search what? The water balloons? The... Huh?
Glows. Oh, do I have to do this? Do I have to do the twig thing again? I'll draw it out. I'll just draw it out. I'll like draw like a circle. I'll be like, circle. And then arrows pointing to the glowy things.
Okay.
Crystals.
Yeah.
Shards.
Were there glowing bodies, or is it just the beetle that glowed and then...
The beetle just glowed, and then, but you also there's this big pile of flesh.
Oh, the flesh had a glowing thing in it. Okay.
No,
No?
no, it didn't glow, but there's a big pile of flesh you can sort through if you want.
I'm not touching it.
Fine. Begrudgingly, I'll go over and dig through the mound.
As you should.
Is this
Okay.
a check or...
Roll me a investigation check, sir.
Oh, nice. 23.
You pull out one crystal.
One.
About this big.
Yeah.
It's purple. Or is it blue?
It's whatever shade of blue to pink to purple that you would like.
Roughly her dice bag.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, so you pull that out.
Yeah, like that or something.
Okay.
No.
So I bring it back over to her and
Yep.
say, okay, this was all that was in there. Apparently, all that for this much. Who gets the first one? Shoot her on what?
Shoot, yeah.
That was 3.
So 1, 2, 3.
Shoot.
Okay, do it again. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
All right, you get the first one.
Okay. What do you
Enjoy
suck,
your mysterious crystal.
what do you
covered
suck
in-
it into?
My boots.
You suck it into your boots.
Yeah.
The right one or the left one?
Oh, is
There's only one sock per the two.
so only one will do what the thing
Whatever
does.
it will do.
Yes.
Yeah. So it could like give me flight, but only from one foot.
You're not sure. You can feel that the boots they glow a little bit when you put it in, and then they both feel kind of warm to the touch.
Okay.
Oddly comfortable, but the actual effects of it you're unsure of.
Would I be able to Arcana to get a idea?
There's a spell for that.
I'll identify.
Yeah.
I can make an image of the boots.
Yeah.
That would be very helpful.
Yeah.
There was this big purple thing too, right? That we had initially.
It was twitching.
Yeah, big purple
I'm sorry,
worm.
I'm unconscious. I can't remind you of these things.
Yeah, it's this big worm that looked like it was maybe 1,000 feet in length. It's actually, you're still near it, but you're near like maybe its butt.
Gross.
I'm not going near that thing if it's still alive without
Is it still,
more than us.
Is it still alive? Is it still like twitching?
Yeah, it twitches every once in a while.
I think we hole up here for until at least they get awake. That's my vote.
Oh, he's gonna roll it. Things are gonna happen.
What about that displacer beast? The one that's half. The panther.
Oh, that was way back.
Oh, it's way back. Okay.
Yeah, because you walked down.
Yeah.
Oh, it's up
The
top.
giant worm.
No, it's not up top.
No,
It's
it's
still
at
in
the
the
other
grotto.
end of the grotto.
But
where
you're-
you started where I fell down,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you walk down to the slope, and
Well,
Like the worm's the closest thing to us. That
The worm is closest thing to it, but the worm is big, so it might take you some time to figure out where
yeah.
the shard.
the shard would be in it if it had a shard.
Well,
You're not even sure, like, when you looked at the beetle and whatnot, it turns out it didn't have a shard, so you're not even sure
Great.
if everything has shards.
okay.
I mean we can, but
We wait.
yeah.
You wait. Okay. My d12. Rolling for random encounter.
Panther, no panther, no panther, no panther.
So you two awake. You first. Then
Push
and
his body off.
then an hour later, you do. Yeah. You're tucked in this little hole, just enough for
Yeah.
you two.
Squeeze.
You're like,
out.
when you wake up, you get the smell of like, well, first off, that ball now smells as soon as it burst open, right? You can, all the smells were contained within it, and then when it burst, and poof, like somebody let
Thank you
loose
so
a
much.
stink bomb.
Thank you so much.
But you initially get this burnt smell
Yeah, because it's him.
as you kind of come to, and
Is he like fully corporeal, or just like my hand like squished through him in some places? Like, and then shove him off of me so I get out.
it's like he's like 95% corporeal, but as you're
Every now
pushing
and then
away,
it's like,
it
ugh.
kind of
Gross.
you crawl out of this little hole that's just the size of you. There's the two of them huddling behind this rock, kind of just staring at each other.
Speaking wordlessly.
Yeah.
What happened?
You can
Bugs
see
are
the
gone?
remains of the battlefield.
Gross.
Yeah.
So the bugs are gone.
Yeah.
We're waiting on you guys before we go investigate. That worm's a little bit bigger than it looked from afar.
Can I get a little healing? Pretty please.
I'm also assuming it's
No,
a short
I don't
rest for.
do that.
Yeah, you guys are short rested.
Yeah,
That
so
dirty healing magic.
you waiting for him to wake up's at least a short rest.
I can do my preserve life thing.
So an hour later, you wake up.
Look around. I'm like, hi, am I in a little hole? And then I would look out and see the deal. Be like,
So I'm gonna do my channel divinity once everybody's close
Yep.
enough. Present my holy symbol, which is my prayer wheel, probably. Restore number of hit points equal to 5 times my cleric level. So that's
20.
5 times through. It's 5 times 4.
Yep.
So 20. Yeah, 20 points of healing.
Is that each or is it split between us?
Split.
It splits.
Did you take any damage?
No.
Of course not.
Incredible.
I'm actually gonna burn a hit die during this.
5 times.
Yeah, so
So 5.
you can also take a short rest too.
Yeah, which is probably what I'll do.
Okay.
So I'll divide it up between those 3 and just take my own
These
short
two,
rest.
because he didn't take any damage.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
I am perfectly fine.
Okay,
I'm
so
still...
then you both get healed for 10.
Alright. And then
And
use
that-
hit dice.
Yeah, and then if you want to take a short rest beyond that, that's fine. So as you're here, kind of like looking upon, that worm does twitch every few minutes. It twitches, but roll a investigation, sir.
Can I aid him in this?
This was happening while you
Okay.
guys were.
No problem.
What do you get, sir?
I'm debating if I want to Tides of Chaos because I can do that on skill checks.
Can you?
Yeah. You can do it on basically anything that's not damage.
All right.
This seems important. I'm gonna yeah, until the next long rest you got
Okay.
23.
So the twitches between that the worm is doing is slowing down.
Okay.
You think at this rate, this time tomorrow, it will probably be dead.
So
Or we kill it.
it's 1,000 feet long. I don't know what your toothpick's gonna do to it.
You walk alongside of it. Stab. Walk. Stab.
You want us to aerate the worm.
Why not? The more holes, the more No, I'm not this stupid. It's fine. It's gonna say the more holes, the more chance of finding a shard. Which technically
You're not wrong, but
isn't incorrect.
But like 1,000 feet, it covers that entire thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, plus some,
More.
Yeah, more. Yeah.
So is
Genuine.
it kind of coiled?
So
No, it's like strength. It's all elongated.
Okay, so
And
it's
if-
like it was traveling to get here and then just stopped.
Yeah.
so
So this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that we end here.
Okay.
And then you guys formulate plans on what you want to do here next.
Okay.
And then next week, Gideon will be here with us
Yep.
to lend aid. Okay.
friendly with
So,
the hand.
everybody out there, thanks for joining us. Our monk almost died again, and it was very tight there. Very tight there for a moment.
I also almost died.
Again.
Getting really good at almost dying.
And we'll see you next week, and hopefully things go better for them.
Or not.
Thank you. Have a good night.